Welcome back to Nonsense, I'm Chris, and American Dad just premiered its new season on its brand new network, its old network, who basically sold out the show to TBS over a decade ago and pushed the writers to the point that they wrote a whole meta episode where Stan gets literally lobotomized as a metaphor for what was happening to the creative team behind the show at the time, so it's a given that they start the episode off pretty nervously.
Getting back together after so many years could be a disaster. Yeah.
Which would actually be fine, as would the basic premise of the episode, if it weren't for the strangely crammed in amount of Fox era and Disney content, as well as pop culture stuff. It just really feels like the writers got a bunch of executive notes. But I do want to say, aside from the very clear corporate influence, the episode was funny and even had a few missable jokes in the background on top of all the Fox era Easter eggs, which actually starts on the very first frame of the episode, since for some reason there's now a basketball hoop right here. I went back to check every season, and it's just not something that's ever there as a permanent fixture at least, but it was featured in a Fox era episode where Francine gets into spanking. During this scene, Haley also talks with an accent.
You rotten son of a gun!
And Francine says,
Nobody in our family sounds like that.
But it's actually a reference to when Haley became a farmer.
I said no talking in there. Punishment increased.
Francine winds up seeing Gwen, her sister from the Fox era, for coffee, and outside of being in a few background shots like in the 200, this was the last time we saw her.
I can't believe you get a suspended sentence and I get jail time.
The important thing is, we've let go of the past. We're totally free.
I'm not, and when I get out of here, I'm coming for you, sis. I will have my revenge.
She was also voiced by Uma Thurman back then, as opposed to this episode where she's voiced by Ming-Na Wen. They also established that Mama and Baba are still alive, a noteworthy mention given that not too long ago Steve said,
They're not responding to emails or phone calls for what seems like years. I think we have to face the very real possibility that Mama and Baba have died.
They completely reanimated the theme song. It's actually a lot more detailed from before, as you can see, from new sidewalk and stepstone details to baby Steve and Haley in the background, and the more early morning lighting as he jumps out of bed. Jeff is now in the theme eating cereal, which is long overdue inclusion. Haley now puts a sticker on his back instead of the classic paper with tape. The golden poop by the parking meter is a lot clearer in this version. You've got Avery and the guys up here, the news team, Lewis, Trish and Suze, Tuttle, and finally Snot, Toshi, and Barry. Roger's dressed up as someone from later in the season, I assume. After the theme, the CIA is cooling off with some ice cream to show that it's hot, before Stan shoves some pop culture in her face. I assume because Disney owns Star Wars and Fox, which owns American Dad again now. He also mentions being a great shot, which feels like a callback to the early seasons where they frequently mentioned he was a weapons expert specifically. They also do the setup to the joke in the opening here that doesn't pay off till the very end, so it's easy to miss.
I'll have you decide which weapon the CIA uses as their go-to firearm for the next 10 years.
Are you serious, sir? I've always used the Beretta M9, but I'm recommending we all change to the Glock 19.
Hey, that's what I use. Me too. All right, no change.
Bullock complains about the heat and his pickleball court in what feels like another shoehorned pop culture reference, so Stan decides to throw a pool party for everyone. At Pearl Bailey, the sign says toilet for customer use only, which is hilarious. Snot tells Steve that Debbie, who was Steve's occasional girlfriend during the Fox era, just broke up with their math teacher, so I guess the joke there is that she's a child dating an adult, but they did get Lizzie Kaplan back, who is the original voice actor for Debbie. So Steve invites her to the pool party, and at dinner, Jeff makes another Disney reference.
I put it on my head to see if it was Ratatouille, but all it did was make me steal a car.
This episode also gave me a great new product idea.
Our family pube shaving razor is about to get a workout.
Let me know how many I can put you down for, and the answer better be 1. The day of the party, Francine finds a dead rat in the pool as the primary conflict, and she wants to cancel the party, but nobody else does, making her spend the rest of the day keeping pregnant Gwen from getting in the pool. I'm not really sure how dangerous this would be, but if that isn't safe, then I can't imagine beach water would be safe. Google says 30 minutes of increased chlorine and you're fine, so who really knows? Either way, I'd say they definitely should have mentioned it to Gwen at least. Meanwhile, Roger is held up because he can't find his Uncle Roger mustache, and as another reminder that they're back with Disney, he says,
Well, I do have another one from another persona. His name is Ned Flanders.
Which on the off chance you don't already know is a fan favorite character from The Simpsons. Debbie shows up in a very goth bathing suit ensemble as a reminder that she was goth, and Francine puts on an ant mask because she's about to have her first niece, but Gwen just just wants to swim. Why Francine doesn't just tell her right here in private about the rat, I do not know. But she does hear people jumping in the pool and freaks out. We see the second in a really funny set of costume changes for Bullock, and Francine rushes out to stop everyone from being gross with the pool water, and in a new and awesome animation style for the show, they depict Francine imagining bacteria eating out everyone's insides till they're dead. She snaps out of it to realize that Gwen already got in, so in a direct reference to the Stan pooping the pool episode, she jumps in and drops a deuce, causing everyone to rush out. Somehow nobody realizes it was her though, so Bullock announces nobody's leaving until he conducts an investigation. So they move into the treehouse for interrogations, which you will again recognize from the Fox era, most notably season 11 episode 4 when Steve and the boys have their sleepover.
Yep. Don't need anyone else to have a good time. Just, gonna entertain myself.
He actually accuses Francine though, and Steve decides to take the fall since he was the first one to jump in. And instead of being mad, they all just agree kids are gross since they had been setting that up the whole episode. We cut to Roger in the attic, still looking for his Uncle Roger mustache, but there are so many Easter eggs in this shot. Obviously first up is Clip Clop from season 3 episode 13 during the Fox era. This is the Roy Rogers McFraley hat from season 4 episode 12. Obviously just a Statue of Liberty hat, but I don't think we've seen him wear that. Maybe the joke is that the Statue of Liberty is actually one of his personas, because that would be amazing. This is the termite costume he wears in season 14 episode 1, and these are a throwback all the way to season 3 episode 4 when Roger was dressed as Evil Knievel. These three seem specific enough that I think they're from something, but I can't place them. Overall though, if you recognize anything in here I didn't list, leave it in the comments, and if I make a follow-up at the end of the season for the details I missed, I'll include it and give you a shout out. Aside from the Ricky Spanish outfit though, because he obviously grabs that on his way out as a final reference to the Fox era of the show, and possibly his most popular character from that era, that's all I caught in this episode. But it did feel really densely packed to me, not necessarily in a bad way though. I did enjoy the episode, but leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Just, gonna entertain myself.